Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Pete's CD Vinyl World. Today, I have a special guest. This is my son, Pete the Third, and today we're going to be doing our top 15 Queen songs. So, why don't you tell me when you became a Queen fan or when you first heard them?
I heard them 2 years ago. My favorite album from them is probably The Game.
The Game? Alright, so, you want to start? What's your number 15?
Don't Try Suicide.
Don't Try Suicide. From what album?
The Game.
The Game? I remember that song. My first 45 was Another One Bites the Dust, and that was the B-side. My number 15 is also from The Game. It's a Crazy Little Thing Called Love. So even though that's one of their pop hits, felt I kind of had to put that somewhere in my top 15. So, what's your number 14?
Fat Bottom Girls.
Fat Bottom Girls. All right, that's a good song. That's off of Jazz. Actually, my number 14 is off the same album. It's Let Me Entertain You, which was one of their openers for... Actually, they opened for like 2 or 3 years straight with that. It's on their Live Killers album also. Number 13, what do you got?
Radio Gaga.
Radio Gaga. That's from the Works album, right? That's a pretty good song. That almost made my top 15. What are we on, 13?
12.
No, I didn't do 13.
Oh.
My number 13 is from the... What's the Kind of Magic album, I think? One Vision. It's one of their heavier songs of the 80s. Number 12, you got?
Don't Stop Me Now.
Don't Stop Me Now, another one from Jazz. That's not one of my favorite songs. Kind of got like a Broadway feel to it. It's popular now because it's in a lot of commercials and stuff, but not one of my favorites. My number 12 is from Sheer Heart Attack. It's Now I'm Here. Big, long, epic song. Became a big concert staple back in the 70s. Not sure if they played it into the 80s or they might be playing it now. Who knows? That's my number 12. So you're on number 11, right?
Love of My Life.
Love of My Life. Actually, was almost going to make my top 15. That's probably my favorite of their ballads, I would say, also. My number 11 is another similar song to Now I'm Here. It's Late off of the News of the World album. Another long, epic song. Also, Brian May does some tapping in it, finger tapping on his guitar, and that album came out a year before Van Halen 1. So, I know other guys have done it, like Steve Hackett from Genesis before Van Halen, but no one ever talks that Brian May also did it. Number 10.
You're My Best Friend.
You're My Best Friend from Day at the Races?
Yes.
Right? That's a pretty good song. That was written by John Deacon, right? My number 10, off of News of the World, the song Sheer Heart Attack. One of their fastest, heaviest songs. I think you noticed my list is more of the heavier stuff, I guess you could say. And the wind's about to blow everything over. But that is my number 10, Sheer Heart Attack. What's your number 9?
Keep Yourself Alive.
Keep Yourself Alive from the first album. After I did my list, I realized that I didn't have anything from the first album, but hey, but Keep Yourself Alive is definitely one of their classics, right? My number 9 is from the Miracle album. It's I Want It All. And that song, I think, is the song that got them back. I think it came out in 1989 or 1990. It sort of got them back to the era, have some exposure in the United States. They had like sort of minor hits in the US, but they were way bigger overseas during the 80s. And I think I Want It All got them back. I mean, MTV played it a lot. Unfortunately, I think Freddie Mercury was already sick, so they had already stopped touring by then. But yeah, that's one of my favorites from them. What do you want? Number 8?
Yes. Show Must Go On.
Show Must Go On from Innuendo, one of their great songs of all time. My number 8 is from the game. It's Dragon Attack. The game is funny because a lot of people think that's the beginning of their sort of pop era. But besides Another One Bites the Dust and a Crazy Little Thing Called Love, the rest of the album is kind of almost like vintage Queen. Dragon Attack is one of the heavier songs on there, so it's always been one of my favorites. Number 7?
Another One Bites the Dust.
Another One Bites the Dust. Like I said, that was the first 45 I ever bought was Another One Bites the Dust. Definitely one of their classics. My number 7 is, I believe it's from The Works, it's Hammer to Fall. And I've always loved that song, killer riff. Again, one of their heavier 80s songs when they were known for getting into the pop world. But I've always loved that song. Number 6?
Get Down, Make It Love.
Get Down, Make Love from Sheer Heart Attack. Good song. My number 6, also from Sheer Heart Attack, is Killer Queen. Always been one of my favorites. Number 5 for you?
Headlong.
Headlong. That song almost made my top 15 from Innuendo, their last album with Freddie Mercury. And ironically, my number 5 is the title track, Innuendo. I think that's one of their best songs ever. Got a lot of different parts and reminds me of their 70s stuff. Number 4?
Sheer Heart Attack.
Sheer Heart Attack. That was on my list, wasn't it? Somewhere? Yeah, that was my number 10. Good pick. My number 4 is from Sheer Heart Attack. Again, it's Stone Cold Crazy. Later covered by Metallica. They did a great version of it, but the Queen one is not much different. It's one of the heaviest songs probably by any band in the 70s. Number 3?
Killer Queen.
Killer Queen. Great song. Was my number 6 actually. My number 3 is Bohemian Rhapsody. I know it's a little played out, but sort of had to make the list, right? How could you not put it in there? Not that you want to hear it again, but definitely one of their best songs. You did number 3, right?
Yeah.
What's your number 2?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
That's funny. And my number 2 is one you mentioned already, Show Must Go On. And, when you listen to that song, obviously Freddie Mercury knew that he was going to die soon. You could tell that by the lyrics and the way he's singing. So, that song you never get sick of hearing. And your number 1?
Stone Cold Crazy.
Nice pick. That was my number 4. And my number 1, it's always been my favorite, from the Day at the Races, Tie Your Mother Down. So, what do you got for honorable mentions or songs that almost made your top 15?
Now I'm Here.
Now I'm Here, great song. What else?
Play the Game.
Play the Game, that almost made mine as well. Anything else? No, We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions.
Now it's too overplayed.
Too overplayed? Yeah, I mean, these are my honorable mentions. We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions, Radio Gaga, the title track from The Miracle, that's a great song. Headlong from Innuendo, which you mentioned. Death on Two Legs from Night at the Opera, that's a great one. Love of My Life, and you mentioned that. From the Flash Gordon soundtrack, the 2 songs with vocals, Hero and Flash. Pretty cool, heavy songs. Seven Seas of Rye, I believe from Queen 2, or is that maybe the first album?
Which song?
Seven Seas of Rye?
That has to be the second.
Yeah, the second. I'm in Love with My Car. That's a good one from Night at the Opera. And Play the Game as well. So that was our top 15 Queen songs. So let me know, you guys, if you got top 5, top 10. Thanks for joining me on this video. And if you like these videos, please subscribe. Thanks a lot.